So here's part two of my video from the Ottawa market where we talk about perhaps a little known fact. A lot of people in Ottawa don't like going to Gatineau, and in my view it can be, Gatineau has very nice people there except for the municipal officials and the police. In my view, extremely corrupt and racist. I know a lot of people don't use the R word, but again, in part one of my video, where I talked about, this is we're right in the heart of Gatineau, Napoleon, Gruel, and Madeleine. Black man was walking down the street, hydro pole stuck right in the middle of the street, car before it. Man wanted to go across the street. He starts walking behind the parked vehicle, gets intercepted by the police. Now, what is this all about? Now, the Quebec has some great rules in the books. It's like this Quebec Charter of Rights and Freedoms. A very good rule that talks about diversity. Quebec is a very diverse place, but interesting enough, although Gatineau has one of the most diverse municipalities in Quebec and in fact Canada, with a significant black population, there is not one ethnic festival of any kind in Gatineau right across from Ottawa. You won't find Chinese, Arab, black, orange, pink, brown. None of these festivals in Gatineau is a testimony to what is the systematic racial exclusionary policy of the city of Gatineau, Ville de Gatineau, which percolates right down in terms of how the police begin to enforce law. They begin to enforce law in terms of who is out of place and who's not out of place. This is how they enforce law. So what happened when you're confronted with a situation like this? The police arrest you for simply going behind, give you a ticket at least, for going behind a parked vehicle and a hydro pole. You get intercepted and you say, okay, let me go to the court system. Well, what happens? Even though Quebec has excellent laws, they completely ignore them. As an Anglophone, you're supposed to be notified in English of a ticket. They ignore that. You go to the court. The court says, the Quebec Charter says, you have a right for cross-examining the witnesses, namely the police. In the Gatineau Municipal Court, they decided to ignore cross-examination, etc., etc., etc. In Gatineau, if the police overhear you saying that the grass is green, and they say it's pink, and they will arrest you, the prosecutor will say it's pig, the court system will say it's pig, and there's nothing that you can do about it. That is how the city of Gatineau is. That's their mentality. That's the kind of corruption we're dealing with. We'll look at part three.